It's a highly demanded consumer product. I think we start thinking in our bubble, right? The crypto bubble, what's happening in the blockchain. This is wrong. That's not what's going on here. This is a globally mass adopted consumer product. Everyone has a smartphone, right? Everyone has a laptop. But people are starting to wake up to the fact that NordVPN or ExpressVPN or these big centralized VPN companies have their own liabilities. And they're looking for more secure and decentralized solutions. And people are turning to the Sentinel network. And so I think 400,000, while that's an impressive number, I expect we'll add more zeros onto that number as the network grows.
Hey everyone, today I have Dan from Exidio. Great to have you on the show, Dan. How are you doing today?
Hey Shash, thanks so much. Appreciate you having me on.
Awesome. First, I wanted to ask you about Cosmos, right? Before we dwell into Sentinel and Exidio, I wanted to understand from you, what do you like the most about the Cosmos and the Atom ecosystem, and why did you choose to build on it?
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the Cosmos ecosystem. I think the design architecture of how the network functions and the hub and spoke model with the Cosmos hub, and then all of the different Cosmos SDK independent native blockchains that have their own independent security, all being able to integrate through the Cosmos hub with the inter blockchain communications layer, is a really smart architecture, and it creates true interoperability, but also the ability to scale. So I think that the design architectures that were made early on were really intelligent, and that's also why Sentinel decided to build its native blockchain on Cosmos SDK. Because for the Sentinel network, people are routing their traffic through individual nodes to be able to route their internet traffic through them as a VPN. But those nodes are all hosting their information on the blockchain. So there's lots of calls that need to be made and communications that need to be made with the blockchain. So having a high throughput and its own sovereign security blockchain was the right architecture for Sentinel.
Interesting. Cosmos SDK was previously called Tendermint SDK, right? It's the same thing.
Correct.
Or
yeah, so you're building on Tendermint or leveraging the Cosmos SDK.
Right. I feel that, Binance Chain, Crypto.com, Terra, Kava, Agoric, use Cosmos, and so many amazing projects are using Cosmos as well, right? But unlike Polkadot universe, where everybody's calling themselves a Polka project, Polka Swap, Polka Foundry, Polka Launcher, etc., most projects don't show their excitement towards Cosmos. Why is that? Is it tokenomics? Is it the use case? That excitement that people have towards Ethereum and Polkadot, you never get to see that. You don't even know projects are building on Cosmos. Most people aren't even aware of it. Do you understand why is that?
So I hear your point to a point, Shash, but I also think that there is a lot of excitement around the Cosmos ecosystem, and a lot of that hype is starting to kind of get traction. But Kava or Luna or Sentinel, we're all independent blockchains. So we're running our own blockchain. We have our own validator set. We have our own independent security. We're all sovereign blockchains. It's that when the projects that are building their own independent blockchains using the Cosmos SDK integrate the inter-blockchain communications layer, the IBC, that's when the true potential is unlocked of the Cosmos ecosystem. And I think we are seeing a lot more excitement around that. There's a website, Map of Zones, and it is showcasing all of the different transactions that are happening over IBC, and what are the projects that are really making a big impact as far as leveraging the inter-blockchain communications layer. So I do think that we're starting to see that excitement, but the difference between Polkadot, for example, and Cosmos is that blockchains have their own independent security and their own validator set, whereas projects under Polkadot are leveraging a shared security model. And this shared security model is also being implemented on the Cosmos blockchain, but projects that built their own blockchain leveraging the Cosmos SDK are really independent and have had to bootstrap themselves.
Got it. In terms of you're talking about IBC now. When was IBC actually launched, and since when have you been playing with it? And what is your experience with this interoperability model that doesn't even exist on Ethereum right now?
Exactly. It's been amazing. So IBC was launched in March of this year, and Sentinel implemented IBC, I believe, in April, so shortly thereafter. And now, even though IBC was launched in March, we didn't see the true impacts or use cases of it because there weren't a lot of applications leveraging the inter-blockchain communications layer. That has since changed. Especially we're starting to see DeFi really come to the Cosmos ecosystem. So Osmosis is a decentralized exchange built by some of the people that built Kepler Wallet, which is basically the MetaMask of the Cosmos ecosystem. And now this Osmosis decentralized exchange is amazing. The website is osmosis.zone. And it's an AMM. It's minimal impermanent loss for providing liquidity. There's amazing liquidity incentives, and it's getting crazy traction. And I think there's well over 100. I think it's close to 500 million assets that are locked just on Osmosis. And there's now 4 decentralized exchanges in the Atom ecosystem, and there's a lot more products coming, and they're all connecting via the inter-blockchain communication layer.
That's awesome. Yeah, we did test out Osmosis and the Kepler wallet, and it is actually, the experience is totally different than using MetaMask or anything with the EVM side. It's very, very different. And yeah, I totally hear you. And I can see that excitement. I just felt that somehow that Cosmos probably would be the only base layer which has provided technology whose projects have surpassed their own market cap. So I thought that was one of the most strange things that would have happened, right? Like, and of course, like Binance is definitely much bigger than Cosmos because of everything else that they have. But they sort of started with the Binance chain, and then they immediately realized that they needed EVM to launch everything that was on Ethereum. So they had to do Binance Smart Chain, which was an EVM. All right. So coming to Sentinel and Exidio, right? What's the relationship between these two companies that you're working with?
Yeah, thanks, Shash. So Sentinel itself is not a company, right? Sentinel itself is a network of people that are offering bandwidth or people that are routing their traffic through the nodes that are offering bandwidth. So people coming together that want to get access to VPN, they're routing their traffic through different IP addresses just like you would on a centralized VPN. But then the other side, the supply side, those are you or I or anyone else that wants to offer our excess bandwidth from our home internet connection to this network, and people can route traffic through our nodes. So Sentinel itself is the network of people that are offering bandwidth or routing their bandwidth through their individuals' nodes. And Exidio, we're a company. We have employees around the world. We have employees in India. We have employees in the U.S. We have employees in Europe. I'm the CEO of Exidio. I'm based in Puerto Rico. And we are a software development company building for the Sentinel protocol, helping build out some of the core tooling for the Sentinel protocol. And we're building out the applications that connect to the Sentinel network. So we're building out the mobile applications and the desktop applications for VPN. And we're also a company that can help if anyone else wants to build their own VPN applications on top of the Sentinel network. You can work with Exidio, and we'll help you with the front-end integration. We'll help you with some of the development, making sure that everything is testing and functioning well. And we're also building other tooling, leveraging the Cosmos SDK.
So, are you offering VPN as a white labeling services for company to just use your backend, whereas they provide like a front end and build their own apps on top of it? Is that
exactly right? And Exidio, we're offering the service to help them make that process seamless and make sure that the applications function the way that they want, and that everything is interacting with the blockchain the way that it natively needs to.
Is the application launched already?
So we have applications only on our testnet that was on Ethereum. Our mainnet applications on Cosmos are coming very soon. We're launching the iOS application in September, so in just a matter of a week. And then the Android application will be shortly after that. And then our desktop applications are also coming out very soon. So I'm really excited. This is a pivotal moment for the network. And the applications that we built at Exidio, I believe are going to be top notch. And we've gotten tons of positive feedback from the applications built on Ethereum. So we're ready to really unleash the power of this network.
Interesting. So in terms of having a blockchain, right? Having a blockchain with what you're building versus not having one, and using leveraging another blockchain which provides kick-ass security as well. Like, what's the difference between the two?
Yeah, it's the decentralization nature. For everyone that is able to offer nodes to the network, and they're posting it to the Sentinel blockchain, the Sentinel blockchain is secured by its own validator set. And with that, the architecture of the network makes sure that it's resilient, that the speed of the network acts at the speed which users demand to be able to get access to connect to VPN, and that the security is independent. And so as there's more people that grow interest in the network stays resilient with the strong validator set securing the blockchain.
Right. In terms of people getting involved with the ecosystem, you're saying people can provide bandwidth for running the nodes, or they can be validators. What are the various ways somebody can get involved within the ecosystem, and how much passive income can one make from it? Like what kind of numbers can we see? Like, if you can give me a ballpark.
Yeah, so you're right on point that there's tons of different ways to engage with the Sentinel ecosystem. The easiest way is to hold and own the token, the dVPN token, and use that to help secure our blockchain, and use that to help use your influence to impact the direction that the blockchain should take as a DAO going forward. So you can partake in on-chain governance. You can use your tokens to stake them and earn staking rewards. And right now, the APY is 54% annualized, and with compounding interest. So the staking returns that you're earning, if you're also staking those returns that you're earning, and you're earning compounding interest, you can get nearly 80% APY. So if you were to put $1,000 into Sentinel dVPN tokens over the course of a year, you could get nearly $800 if the price were to stay even in US dollar terms, in rewards and staking rewards. And by doing so, you're helping secure the blockchain and participating in on-chain governance. So holding and staking the token is one. Another is using the token in decentralized finance protocols, like we talked about Osmosis DEX. There's also another one called Sift Chain DEX, and they have really high APY right now for people that are offering dVPN and Rowan tokens for liquidity on the Sift Chain DEX. And there's more decentralized exchanges coming to the ecosystem. There's another one, the Gravity DEX, and they have liquidity incentives that are coming soon. So not only can you earn staking rewards, or you can offer liquidity to decentralized exchanges and make sure that there's a lot of access and liquidity for people trading the token and earning liquidity provision rewards. Then you can also, like you said, Shash, be more active in the blockchain network. So or the VPN network. An easy way to do that is, if you already want to have access to VPN, download the applications when they come online and start using it as an end consumer. It's going to be a super seamless application to use. It's going to make it for a truly peer-to-peer network that you're accessing for decentralized bandwidth. And that's an easy way that you can use dVPN tokens and get access to VPN at a discounted cost. And then finally, you can offer your own bandwidth of the network and earn passive income, earn dVPN tokens for offering your bandwidth of the network.
Very, very interesting. I do want to understand, right? Like, we had VPNs in the Web 2 environment, but what you're talking about is, it's like a different ball game altogether. So how do VPNs in Web 3 differ from VPNs in Web 2?
Yeah. So the VPN that we're talking about in the Web 3 world, right, in the decentralized world, is that, Shash, you are directly offering your bandwidth to the network, and I'm directly routing my traffic through your node. So there's no one company at any point in the user journey and the user experience that is able to log your data. This is a truly peer-to-peer network, and the node that you post to the to be able to have people route that through, you're posting those details of your node to the blockchain, to the Sentinel blockchain. So your IP address, your latency, your throughput, your uptime, all the details of your node are posted to the blockchain. And if I want to connect to your node, I'm on my mobile phone, or I'm on my computer client, and I'm looking at the nodes. Those nodes that I'm able to connect to are only displayed because that front-end application is calling the blockchain via API for those details. So there's no company in the middle. There's no company that can log your data, and there's no company that can resell your data to other companies or do what they want with your data.
So while this seems to solve the problem of more privacy, more control of your own data, your information remains with yourself and gets lost within the environment, like nobody has access to it. However, seems like there is a possibility that, if you're not having servers which are constantly maintained, which have high quality of connection, etc., but you're using my computer, which may not be, set to be used as a server, the network might be slowed considerably. So do you see that as an issue, or like how would you scale up and make it as fast of an internet as you would get otherwise?
Yeah, so based on, I think you're kind of getting at two things, right? The reliability and consistency of the nodes, and then the throughput and quality of the nodes.
More throughput and quality.
Yeah. So the throughput and quality is that your node will have a maximum amount of users that'll be able to route traffic through your node, depending on your node strength. So if you have, a high-speed internet and you have consistent, consistently fast up and down speeds, then you'd be able to have more individuals routing traffic through your node. But it depends on the node specifics for the amount of concurrent users that can route traffic through any one node. But that has not been an issue, and I don't anticipate to be an issue based on the network architecture, so that nodes are only have the capacity for the amount of people that they can offer.
Okay, makes sense. I would really love to test it out. My last question is about you just mentioned that people can earn rewards and they can earn 80% APY, and there is, like, the way you mentioned it seems like a linear system where if you add services to the ecosystem, you get tokens rewarded to you. But is there a cycle to all this? Like, is there a way how people need to stake the tokens to be able to add more value to the network? Or, if people need to spend the tokens within the ecosystem rather than just selling it out into the open market? Like, is there a means by which the sale of token is being reduced on a regular basis?
Yeah, so the circular economy, right? The stronger circular economy of the dVPN token. That is, I think, a strong architecture that the network has developed. And there will probably be an on-chain governance vote to require that people that are offering a node to the network that want to earn rewards for offering their bandwidth are required to hold and stake the dVPN token to be able to offer the node. And as you're staking and using the token, you'll be able to pay for bandwidth at a discount if you're using the dVPN token versus if you're using fiat. So there's incentives to keep the token, involved circularly in the Sentinel blockchain economy. And also there's incentives to do so because as the network grows, the validators that are the bandwidth nodes that are offering nodes to the network are continually earning more. So it's a truly peer-to-peer open marketplace, and that creates a more perfect competitive environment for the cheapest cost for access to VPN, which increases the growth of the network and adoption of the network. But at the same time, it increases the demand for people to offer bandwidth because of the kind of perfect marketplace where you're actually earning the revenue that the market decides. So I think with that architecture, it makes a really strong circular economy for the token. The node hosts that are earning dVPN tokens that are offering bandwidth are also heavily invested in seeing the success of the project. And so those users are more power users that are usually not ones that are going to be looking to sell them on secondary markets, but more to continue to keep them within the Sentinel ecosystem.
You guys launched back in 2019, right? Like the project?
Actually, 2018.
And the token. And since then, major movement has happened with your price. Like, the development work really took a while to get where you are now. And now the token has really taken off, right? And it's almost at a $500 million fully diluted market cap right now. Why do you think this will keep doing better now?
Because it's directly correlated with market growth, right? Like, if there's demand for the market, if people see the value in the decentralized VPN market and they interact as offering bandwidth or routing traffic through nodes, as the network grows adoption, people will see that this token and the circular economy of this token within this ecosystem is a key part of the ecosystem. And so I would anticipate that as the network grows, that only brings a lot more value to people that are interacting, engaging with the network. And we're seeing that the demand for the network is increasing a lot. And the real big opportunity for the kind of unleashing of the growth, the hyper growth of the network will be the mobile applications that are launched in the coming weeks, and then the desktop application. That provides far more seamless access to the network. Right now, people are able to route traffic through dVPN nodes only via command line interface, CLI. And then at the same token, people are only allowed to offer bandwidth to the network right now via CLI. So we're completely overhauling applications to make for a seamless user interface to people so that we can actually interact with the network.
How many users do you have right now? How many do you anticipate by this time next year?
Yeah. So there are over 400,000 downloads of Sentinel applications built on the Sentinel network on the Ethereum testnet. So global traction is really there. And those 400,000 downloads are coming from people all around the world. Asia, Middle East, Europe.
That's a crazy number, man. How did you get 400,000 downloads?
It's a highly demanded consumer product. I think we start thinking in our bubble, right? The crypto bubble, what's happening in the blockchain. This is wrong. That's not what's going on here. This is a globally mass adopted consumer product. Everyone has a smartphone, right? Everyone has a laptop. Everyone wears shoes. People are all using VPNs. This isn't a bubble, a niche product. This is a mass adopted consumer product. But people are starting to wake up to the fact that NordVPN or ExpressVPN or these big centralized VPN companies have their own liabilities. And they're looking for more secure and decentralized solutions. And people are turning to the Sentinel network. So just like I would say Terra's done really well in South Korea getting global adoption of their payment application. And it's not just something niche for the crypto world. It's mass adoption within Korea. We're seeing mass adoption for decentralized applications. And this is a consumer product that has global demand. And actually, since the pandemic, demand for VPN has only exponentially increased. And just to give you a little bit of context, Shash, the VPN market in 2016 was just about a $15 billion market globally. And then by 2020, it had eclipsed 30 billion. So in 4 years, it had doubled. And by 2027, it's expected to be over 107 billion. So it's growing at an exponential rate. So it's becoming a mass adopted consumer product, not only, in China or in Iran or certain jurisdictions where there's a lot of restriction over access to content. It's really a demanded product across the world. And so I think 400,000, while that's an impressive number, I expect we'll add more zeros onto that number as the network grows.
Plus the whole mainnet launch with the Cosmos SDK is going to be like a massive reason for you to get more users, because more scalability there, more stuff that people can use. I think it will be much faster and much more scalable network in general, right? So I guess you'd be pushing for more marketing then as well. This is all very exciting. I think I'm quite keen to use this and see. In fact, I've been testing the Deeper network. I don't know if you've checked it out as well. Have you heard of it? Yeah. Deeper network?
Yeah.
How do you compare to Deeper network?
So I would have to look more into exactly how all their nodes operate. But they have a very similar model, right? And I think that they're seeing that there's demand for decentralized VPN. And so I know that they have physical devices that they sell for people to be able to offer bandwidth to the network. And I think that's a smart design for a network. And that's probably a path that we're also going to look to follow. I think that there's a lot of demand for these types of applications. And so, Deeper Network, I know, is building their own independent network. And, I think that if we succeed or they succeed, all that is a growing pie for people that are waking up to the idea that you need more decentralized alternatives, and the centralized VPN players are not the ones that we can be trusted. And it was just yesterday that another centralized VPN player was hacked and a lot of passwords were leaked because they're controlling and maintaining all of the information about their user base on centralized servers. So, I wish Deeper Network all the best. I think that they also have an interesting model, and I think that both networks are going to continue to grow.
That's awesome. Really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me today, Dan. I learned a lot about what you guys are building. I learned your ideas about Cosmos. And I think the community will be very interested to hear more from you later on.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to speaking soon.